It's right about 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And I would call it, it's 9:01 now. It's Friday the 30th of January, AD 2026. An early salute from Walking Roscoe, who met our goal. Goal. A generous super chat there from Walking Roscoe. Thank you, sir. Crazy stuff going on in the world. They want to unmask ICE. I never heard about unmasking Antifa or unmasking the criminals who do the smash and grabs. There are locales who have banned masks, and then they had to go loose on that because they wanted to pretend like the China virus required masks. And I heard from Bill the engineer, an objective observer, I think, if anybody is, that masking can help with diminishing the spread of stuff. It's like a screen door. You know how the screen door, air does go through a screen door. If you open that screen door, though, or those gate screen doors that are like kind of thicker metal, but they have a bunch of holes in them, you can see out them, and other people can't really see in unless your light is bright. If you open that door, the air flows in much more smoothly. So too, a little net will catch some things, I think it'll, kind of diminish the virus. I know that you can like take your vape, I disclaim vapes, and push the vape vapor or whatever, smoke vapor, whatever, out through the mask and out the sides and all that. But think about it. It's going to block some air. It's not comfortable. It does restrict airflow and probably therefore some virus stuff, whatever. It's a mixed bag, right? There's positives and negatives. But anyway, and some of the people who don't like to be doxxed, there are right and wrong people who do not want to be doxxed, and I understand both. But anyway, shenanigans. They want body cams on the ICE. And ICE, in some cases, are wearing body cams, but in other cases, they're not. And the reason that they want body cams is not, I argue, is not because they want ICE to be honest and show how great of a job they're doing. It's to nitpick their every little move so that you can use stuff that's questionable or that the layman cannot really rightly judge because this is man's work and the layman thinks and feels like a woman. You're fine. You can they want to do that communist propaganda and make false assertions, even though, because given the facts, people are not capable of judging the facts correctly. So, given the video footage of Alex Pretti, it was clear that it was a shooting in a potentially dangerous situation. It was not an execution, but people mischaracterize it as an execution for propaganda. Who is a bigger threat to America, the police, who are enforcing a just law in immigration, or the communists who do not want just laws enforced? I argue that it's the commies are a bigger threat to America because they're in the government. The rhinos, the Mitt Romneys. Not the Mitt Romneys. I don't even know if he's in the government. Looks pretty staged to me. It all looks staged to all of you guys. Oh, man. You wouldn't know real if it slapped you in the face. Shout out, D Live crew and Rumble crew and all of you guys. The views expressed here do not represent those of Bond or JLP or Anchor Baby or Derek. Anchor Baby, speaking of, will be live after the Fallen State is happening after this, okay? So unmasking and body cams, both communist tools, masking and unmasking. Yes, body cam. Yes, video. No video footage of Antifa will assault you and cut your wires and destroy your property and threaten to kill you. Independent journalists getting death threats, by the way. Death threats to independent journalists. I saw you're with who? I know. I saw this text message that was a screenshot of a purported text message circulating on X. And in this purported text message, it was probably it seemed like the message of an Antifa wannabe intimidator. And this wannabe intimidator, or, you know, would be really perhaps intimidating. It seems sort of intimidating what this message said. It was a message to, I know that you're with O'Keefe. James O'Keefe, that is. Is it James O'Keefe? Formerly of Project Veritas. Is it still Project Veritas? And let me mute the volume or diminish the volume on that here. We're getting ready for the show, y'all. Look, it says Jesus saves. And OMG, O'Keefe Media Group. And they're Nazis. Get out of Minneapolis or you will be dead. A death threat. It seems very quiet. I did make it quiet. And that's ridiculous. Is there an investigation upon Antifa in Minneapolis or whoever sent that message, text message to them upon an independent journalist? Because even like the mainstream media journalists are hated by Antifa because they look at this crazy. Oh, there was a crazy man, homeless, druggy seeming guy. Hey, Punchie's coffee. Here, let me show you guys Punchie's coffee.
Punchie's coffee.
Punchie's coffee.
Check it out.
Check it out.
And I don't usually normally like the smell of coffee, but this one does. Smell good.
Smells delicious.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Price includes shipping, by the way.
The price includes shipping on the JessieLeePeterson.shop. And this is a view from a beautifully kept, by the way, place in Beverly Hills. There's a park, sort of walking distance from Bond, actually. Not sort of, it's literally walking distance from Bond. Just up the street from Bond. And I recommend it. Not for Antifa, although Antifa sympathizers may come here. Angry liberals, you know, who well-to-do ones. But you walk around it. People do walk their dogs, but you're not allowed to smoke. And there are homeless people sometimes, but they're not allowed to really camp up or be a problem as much. You know, Beverly Hills, they have their own police, distinct from LA. And but there's no dog poop around. Meanwhile, you walk on these sidewalks sometimes in these neighborhoods, even Jewish neighborhoods, and some of the degenerate people, not necessarily Jews, I don't know, I don't think so, who knows, will allow their dogs to poop right on the sidewalk, and they will not even pick it up. Talk about quality of life degeneration, bringing down the neighborhood. But not so over here. There are signs saying, use a pooper scooper or whatever. And it seems to work. There's a path, three and just less than a quarter laps around. I lied to the callers saying I'm going to be efficient with my time. 3.2 laps is a mile, and nice. Highly recommended if you ever visit. Unless you're one of those low-class people, low-class people can have high-class habits. If you have high-class habits, even though you are low-class, then you are welcome, you know. But nice. Anyway, just a little side note about Punchie's Coffee and Beverly Hills. Both recommended. So the lines are actually full. And I did see that I have several super chats. All right, quite a few. I'm going to try to be efficient this time. Actually, I'm not going to say what I'm going to try to do, because when I announce that I'm going to do something, I end up doing the opposite. So we'll see what happens, perhaps. Or will we be blind to what happens? Anyway, y'all, let's just get right on with the AJ Gallardo original theme song. By the way, it is chest day. Opening the treasure chest right now. Right now. Let's see if I can do this. Boom. Big ol' huge chest. Shaking that chest. Turning it upside down. And sending that out to y'all. Get in there, D-Live crew. Show!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys! Hope you're enjoying the AJ Gallardo original theme song 2017 Christmas Eve, beautifully written and recorded in Big Bear with AJ, a liberal. Nice.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how y'all doing? I am fine. I have a plain t-shirt on. Plain green t-shirt. Won't tell you where I got it. Maybe, and I might not exactly remember. Might have been Goodwill, might have been, what? I don't even want to say it. I'm embarrassed to say it. 10 or more, 12, 13, 15 years ago. I wanted to talk first with Lucas in SoCal, I believe. Lucas in California. Thanks for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
Oh, what's up, Hake? How are you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Nice. I wanted to ask, first of all, like the definition, like full potential. But do you know, like, have you ever thought, what is your full potential?
I have thought about potential and full potential, and it is sort of a cause for regret and imagination and aspiration, things like that. I've thought about it ever since probably high school, when I started to think about getting serious about running competitively, you know, cross country and stuff. So yeah, I've thought about potential, and full potential is kind of like taking advantage of every opportunity to eat right, sleep right, exercise right, rest is sleep, drink enough water, live a balanced life so that you can be successful in your endeavors.
Oh gosh, now you said successful. Now I'm gonna, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
What is successful? I mean, that's because I've been wondering about like that. I've been thinking that it's like a form of like judgment, because I don't worry or care about people's full potential, but
yeah,
it seems as if it comes around when I'm being asked and people are asking you. I mean, do you tell people like you should get to your full potential, or so? Is that something in your
I haven't. If I did, I probably did. I thought of it for myself a lot. Back when I was puffed up on an ego trip of getting the idea that I wanted to be good at running, for example, or good at art, I guess, sometimes a little, not as much. And I don't know if it's testosterone or youthful ego or lack of brain development or what, but you know, you get caught up in a pride and a pursuit. And you know, I justified it with in the Bible it says whatever you do it maybe something like with all your heart as unto the Lord. And if I ever choked, I'd be like, I let down God.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that football coach shouting at you're giving up on your grandma, you're giving up on God. I pray for you.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, no, I see exactly where you're coming from. You know, you really know how to articulate and explain stuff, but people have said and called and said like, well, yeah, but you kind of go around, but you don't really go around, but you don't care what other people think about your opinion.
Yeah.
That's kind of dope. It's kind of like mature of you. Well, not immature, but young of you, like young-minded of you, you know, okay. Yeah, Hake. I'm going to be calling Nick, too, if Nick is listening.
Nice.
I'm going to be calling him asking the same questions. So
cool, man.
Get prepared.
So people are bugging, people are on your case. You know, I've given up on a lot of that. And one of the things I've noticed being older is there are so many ways, not that you want to squander things, but there are so many ways that one wastes time, wastes money, and wastes this and that. And it's good to be wise with your decisions and how you spend time and things like that, and how you spend money too. But it's not something to fret or worry about.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I know you got calls, so
appreciate
hopefully
you, man.
May's calls in. I want to hear May's again. I haven't heard her, or maybe I missed. She called in maybe a couple days ago, I think. So.
She called into Punchie TV, and I had not heard that level of energy against that. She had a certain energy to her addressing Kurt, because Kurt was calling out black people.
I heard the beginning. It sounded off like nice and smooth and Kurt and then all of a sudden, because I was riding my bike, and so I was listening on headphones and then doing stuff, and then I hear and I go back on, and then now Kurt and him are getting on each other, and yeah, that was funny. Derek, right? That's his name, right?
That's Derek. Right, Derek, the black producer.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, I did hear a little bit of Maze too. Yeah, but you though, that's right. I remember you were keeping it like totally chill and calm. I don't know how you do it. That was heated. But yeah, that was great. That was amazing. All right, man.
Good to hear from you, sir.
Well, yeah, you too, sir. You have a good day.
All right. Lucas in California. David in Ocala, Florida. Here, David, what's up, man?
What's happening, Hake?
Hey.
Hey, I called you because I wanted to, if there's any like bleeding heart liberals out there that are wondering why we're getting rid of these people, these illegals.
Yeah.
There was an issue last week where in Georgia where this illegal was like, they found out he was stalking these two little girls, a 11-year-old and a 10-year-old girl. And he goes and he breaks into their mobile home, rapes the 11-year-old, and makes the 10-year-old watch him do it.
Wow. I had heard that on Fox News, Faux News. There was a woman who made a side comment about this guy who like climbed through the window, I think maybe, and did that to a young person. That's not to where the girl is even like grown attractive qualities You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Very innocent.
Yeah.
And that destroys them young girls. But the point is, if that guy wasn't here, that never would have happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and really it's turning into this deal. It's us against them. And I think that's what some of the things Mark's trying to get through to people. It really is us against them. Okay. Because of these, them allowing these people in here, it's deliberate. I believe that, because they realize they're losing the black vote. So they're putting all these illegals in all those blue cities. If you notice that's why they're, what do they call them? What do they call those cities that they let all the illegals come into?
Sanctuary.
Yeah, sanctuary cities. So, but anyway, did you hear that they took the death penalty off the table up there in New York for that Luigi guy?
Oh, really? Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
No death penalty? Wow.
Yeah, because I was wanting to talk about
That's
this.
evil.
And
He should totally face the death penalty because that was an completely unjustified murder. Assassination.
Right,
You can't stand for that.
And it's on video.
And I'm not for revenge, right? I'm not for malicious stuff like that. Yeah, it's on video. Like, there's no doubt that he did it, right? I'm pretty sure.
Right.
There's no reasonable doubt anyway that he did it. And so, no, that's not right. Because, especially because there is you know how, politically speaking, there has been this thing where we don't want people to be racially motivated in their assaults on people. We call that a hate crime. Well, this is an example. I just disappeared myself here. Let me turn myself back on. This is an example of that very type of thing where in society, people are motivated against a group of people, of potentially innocent people, such as executives of, rich executives of corporations, health insurance. And I don't know that there's any history of that guy doing anything untoward, but it's basically that was you could call it a lynching. You could call it a hate crime if we want to use this sort of communist racialized vernacular, because that's what that was. It was targeting a man. It was a targeting of a man, and there's a whole culture of people who are saying, there's a sign in the yard just over here, it says "Free Luigi." The only reason I want to free Diddy or whatever is because he didn't. There's no accusation of. There's question about his actual guilt about what he actually did.
Oh, he did it, dude.
Well, he did what though? He did prostitution.
He treated a lot of people really, really bad.
Yeah.
And even if he didn't do everything that they say, he's such a screwed up in the head dude that he needed to do some time. Okay.
But anyway, I have a disagreement with women. But it's not motivated by my disagreement with women that he should be freed, because I don't really believe that he did anything to the women that the women didn't also participate in. They were fighting each other, they were doing evil to one another, and it was consensual from what I heard. And so, anyway, these people want to free him because they agree with what he did. They agree with murder and assassination, and that's evil. So, for that reason, we need a politically motivated terrorism enhancement that would be a death penalty.
Yeah, well, did you hear this too? Some guy went into the police department there in New York and said he was an FBI agent, and he was there to to transport him to another prison. Okay. And this just went down before they took the death penalty off the case. I think it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And this guy was from Minnesota, so he flew into
drove
to New York or
You wanted to break him out of prison, huh?
Yeah, he was going to try to get him out.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, and when they searched, he gave him his driver's license as his credentials.
What do you mean? Explain.
When they wanted his ID and everything like that, he pulled out his driver's license and handed it to him.
I don't understand what's funny about that. Explain
because
again.
the guy's so stupid. They go, well, let me see your credentials. And he goes, okay. So he opens up his wallet and he hands him his driver's license. They were looking for his like FBI badge or whatever. And then they search him and they find a pizza cutter in his back pocket. Anyway, enough on that. That video that you showed on your channel this morning that said Jesus saves, is that right on top of y'all's building? Did y'all put that up?
No, it was an advertisement from like a year ago for let me see. I think it's Jesus saves, the monkey kills, something like that. I think it's some movie. Jesus saves, the monkey kills billboard. It's just clever marketing for a 2025 horror film, The Monkey.
Yeah, but it only said Jesus saves. I didn't see
across the street.
Monkey kills.
Across the street, they put up another billboard that says "The Monkey Kills."
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But didn't you go right past your building? Because I saw it.
Yep.
I thought it said Bond on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was right over our building.
That place looks like it got cleaned up since 1984. I don't think Pico looked that good back in 1984 when Terminator was out, did it?
That's funny. Yeah, probably not. That's funny.
So that's I'll say one more thing and I got to go because I want you to get other colors and all that. But I got to hand it to JLP to how he just destroys these white liberal people about the black community, about the changing the family, getting the fathers back into the family, and that, that's what's really devastated the black people and the children and everything like that. Because I've seen some past videos of him. I saw this one video. I don't know where he was at. He was in like a courtroom or something, man, and he was just breaking it off on these people. They didn't know what to do. This is like 30 years ago, okay?
Okay.
He was in some kind of hearing. This had to be like back in 98 or something, somewhere. That's what the clothes looked like. And, man, he was just giving it to the people, and they were freaking out. They were, like, trying to get him to shut up because they couldn't handle it. And I'm like, man, dude, that's, he should be proud of himself for trying to help his people,
Yeah, right on, man.
And they disagree with him so hard, that I'm like, it's like there's something wrong with them. How can you disagree with not having a father in the home?
Right.
Yeah, and
totally.
that women's lib movement really, pushed that on. I can do, like there was the commercial in the old days, I can bring home the bacon, I can fry it up in the pan and all that,
Yeah.
And, they try to push that women's lib that you don't need a man.
Yeah, women can take care of the house. Uh-huh.
Right. But men are supposed to protect the family, just like he says. And then, like he said, when I was young, the difference was we got married and the man went to work and the woman stayed home and took care of his children. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man.
And that has decreased since the 70s. When I was a kid, man, I knew, there was all kinds of families like that, but it was starting to go south already. There was divorce. Divorce really came in like the early 70s. Okay.
Yeah.
Before that, it wasn't like that. So anyway, all right, man. Well, you have a great show, and thanks for letting me chat. And I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
All right, later on. All right, buddy. Bye.
Bye. I retweeted this video that it's possible that David in Ocala was referring to, this clip of JLP confronting California politicians.
Already afraid to report criminals. Criminal activity is out of control. Black women are being robbed, murdered, and raped every day. I have a sister who was raped.
Okay.
She won't report it.
Okay, you're.
Because the criminals are on the streets.
Is that your final statement?
Get rid of the bail.
Okay, thank you.
Without accountability.
Thank you, sir.
Insane, and we cannot.
Thank you, sir.
And I beg you.
Muted him. They muted him.
Thank you.
That was up. That was actually not long ago. I was up there with him. It was with some people affiliated with Dog the Bounty Hunter because California Democrats in 2017 were getting rid of the money bail system where you have to pay money to bail out of jail, and they can set it at a high thing or a low thing. Well, criminals now in California, since this thing passed, are able to just walk the streets free after committing crimes. Exceptions to the rule, but not enough exceptions to the rule, obviously. Crime going out of control, and they pretend like it's overcrowding of police, and mass incarceration is a communist buzz phrase. JLP has interviewed people about mass incarceration. ACLU types, liars. And I was showing a picture of that guy who was accused of that thing in just earlier. But anyway, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Let me do some super chats real quick while I'm here looking at this. Thank you to, like I said, Walking Roscoe for the support there. Nice little salute. I got a bunch of super chats from, at this point, just call me Mike, who says, "How was my little prank? Did you like it? I told you my calls were fun. I won't be able to call tomorrow, meaning today, Friday. You know I got things to do in the real world, so here's some of my concerns. First of all, you can't tell me that guy who got himself by ICE was not one of those people." Jewish emoji, Star of David emoji anyway. And he was, and she was too radicalized left-tard, probably referring to the female who also got herself done in Minneapolis. Whew. They dox, harass, send death threats by email to ICE agents. They have group chat, and they put information on Antifa website. The man was armed and had multiple magazines and clips, magazines/clips in his car. That's what I heard. His parents said that he was acting strange and didn't go to work for months. Really, I hadn't heard that one. He was certainly influenced by that type of mindset, the very unchristian mindset. He did look sort of Jewish. I'm not sure, though. You know, I looked at him. I'm like, is he Jewish? They tend to be more liberal/communist per capita. It's just facts. At this point, just call me Mike. Bought another coffee on deportation numbers. William III was totally wrong. First of all, ICE did not make reports public since December 2024. Or do you mean 2025? Probably that. The 600,000 figure includes a survey of self-deportation, which the non-responded survey was counted as deportation. Oh, really? The real figure are approximately 250,000 to 350,000 since 2025, including border turnaways. Yeah, interesting. Who knows? On the arrest in Minneapolis by ICE, I think he said 60,000. I think he probably meant Minnesota, not just Minneapolis by itself, because 60,000 is huge. It's totally false. It's 3,000 in total. Probably 60,000 in the state of Minnesota, but maybe not. Anyway, it's difficult to ascertain the real truth, all right? And 72 arrests per day. The midterms are coming, and Democrats will shut it all down. You can say bye-bye to mass deportation after that. Says Mike, living in the future. Get out of your imagination, sir. Do not fret. Direct quotes from Kurt's daddy, e.g. Truth Social, and interviews Trump. Kurt being the Punchie TV host, who sees Trump as a father to the world. And indeed, he is a father to the world. He is enforcing order. He is expressing and showing true love. And he is remaining calm while the kids and the women go crazy. And he is meting out some discipline where best needed, best he can. And other things, he just has to let things go. Because a man is not able to do his job. A father is often not able to do his job because there is certain forces impeding. And you just have to let those forces be and let the Lord fight your battles. But anyway, Kurt's daddy, Trump, shout out Kurt, K-U-R-T, Kurt. Catch Punchie TV, P-U-N-C-H-I-E. A massive armada is heading to Iran. And Trump, I believe, is calling Iran, by the way. It is moving quickly with great power and to pressuring Iran on nuclear issues amid protests and crackdowns. Once again, William is wrong. Yes, war in Iran is on the calendar. It's marked on the calendar, literally. I think that's an exaggeration or a figure of speech. He thinks that means that there's going to be war in Iran. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sometimes Trump has to do very threatening things and maybe do a strike here and there and to avert a greater conflict. You know, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. You are if you think they can do like they did in Venezuela, you are totally wrong. They have 1 million men army and giant underground facilities and warheads ready to go. Yeah, and people aren't fleeing Iran the way that they are fleeing Venezuela, I don't think. At least that's not what I've heard. I've heard that people fleeing Venezuela, not so fleeing Iran. I could be wrong. You know, the women are so bold that they want to do their woman protests in Iran. So they're not that scared. It's kind of like these people, we're not scared of ICE. Big wow, ICE is supposed to be very self-restricted like men are. Anyway, have 1 million man army, giant underground facilities, warheads ready to go. Poop emoji will hit the fan. It will hit the fan. Of course, William does not care because at his age, he's not going to fight out there. But all these young men do not deserve to die for these antichrist people. Says, at this point, just call me Mike, who says, Trump is a Jew. Well, just like his brother Jesus, Mike, Trump is a true man of Israel. Don't worry your pretty little head there. Your handsome big head there. Michael in Canada. There's nothing you can do about it. Trump is going to do what Trump is going to do. And all you can do is boo-hoo or grin and bear it. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so coffees from Mike in Canada. Freaking out on beautiful Trump. A lot of the people who are in favor of mass deportation simply want or need, I'm not sure which one, someone to point the finger at to blame for the things happening in the country. Popcorn surmises or really thinks, honestly thinks. Offering people $50,000 sign-on bonuses, a little training, putting a gun in their hand and turning them loose on the streets is a recipe for disaster. You know, that's what we've heard or what some have said that is happening with the ICE thing. I haven't looked into it. You know, hiring more ICE agents or whatever. It's almost like Mark's dream he pitched of deputizing everyday Americans and letting them call in tips when they suspect someone might be here illegally. The only difference is instead of a tip line, you've got guys pulling up to Walmart in masks asking people, were you born in this country? You'll get a few woohoos and attaboy chants as people are rounded up and put in ICE vehicles. Alex from California suggested sending in robots and DARPA dogs just to get the job done because everybody is broke because of them. Oof. As Jesse would say, stop blaming others for your failure. The pronunciation for failures. The white birth rate is declining, their major fear. Marriage rates are on the decline. The average first-time home buyer in the country is 40 years old. Address those? No! Blame the immigrants. I mean, that may help with the home buying thing may help when we do the deportations. You know, it'll diminish the demand for housing, which will mean that there is, supply and demand. So it may lower the cost a little. But no, it's not the only issue for sure, dealing with the housing issue. Go to work, take care of your family, raise your kids with values and morals, be a decent person. We don't need more white babies, quote unquote. We need people of good character, and color is not synonymous with that, says Popcorn. Thank you, Popcorn. I'm glad you were able to express that. Yeah, don't get beside yourselves over this thing, over, the goings-on of the country. Let Trump do his job. That's his job. And you don't have to worry, men or women, about it. On deportations and blame. Okay. CBill and Sion gave a couple of coffees. A few coffees between them. More than a few. Well, a few. CBill says, hey, this is a reference to Super Chat from yesterday. I was referring to Brian at number 2 from St. Louis, right? Missouri. With whom I talked for 33 minutes. It was the worst Hake report perhaps ever. Congratulated by Mark from Los Angeles, who was able to point that out. He was all in his feelings and emotion like a woman. What WTH? What the heck? What the Hake? Eye roll emoji. With little logic, go forgive your mama, dude, says CBill. And Sion says, Hake, you're a Barb. No, I'm a James. Barb is my friend. What's your favorite Ratchet song from Nicki Minaj? Starships were meant to fly. Hands up and touch the sky. Oh, 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 oh. Something, 'cause we're so high on life, right? Let's do it one more time. Okay, black queen emoji, 100 emoji, unicorn, and pink heart. Sion. Thank you. So, pro Elon Musk messaging from Nicki Minaj. Thank you to Misty, Aries 1, Groovy Monkey for the lemons. Shout out to Son of Liberty LGB, slave to him, old sauce. Beautiful, Hake. Den Bro. Thank you again to Pastor Chatelet, Leon, Brandon, all you guys over there on the cruise. All those people over there on the Rumble stuff. What do you mean, what's a barb? I'm a barb? Hopefully that's not something bad. Oh, my stream was disconnecting, reconnecting. Stream okay? Question mark. Over on pilled.net. Live on Facebook. Let me get these things over here before I get back to your calls. Much appreciated, y'all. Bearing with me. I don't want to be distracted, you know. I really don't like being distracted when you guys are on the phone with me. Okay? Or do I? Mitt in Australia. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
How are you, brother?
Fine, thank you.
I just had I had to call, mate, when I heard someone say that Trump is a Jew. Can I just retort to that? And I say, no, Donald Trump is not Jewish. He was raised in a Christian household, specifically by Presbyterian, that his parents, as I have identified as, Christian throughout his entire life. You know, his key family background, religious background, Trump was born and raised in New York in a Christian family, attended Presbyterian churches, and during his childhood. So he's never been a Jew. I don't like false claims. It upset me when I read that, so I had to call. One other last question just before I disconnect and let you deal with your other callers. God, I hate wasting your time, but I love you very much and I'll always be listening.
Cool.
I've got trading to do too. I just want to know, do you remember, I can email you if you don't remember, do you remember the episode we did on the Pope? How we had all that information on the Pope, where he went to Detroit, where his family lived, the whole thing. Do you remember what episode that was?
No. Where I talked about the Pope?
It was JLP or you. We did a full episode on him, his origins, where he went to school, where his family lived, where he grew up, the whole thing.
Where, so it was an episode of
current
JLP?
Pope. I think so, yeah. Or it was an episode of
Talking about which Pope?
Hake.
Which Pope?
The current one. The current one with the very bad vocal training that never went to any type of Vatican school, even though the Vatican wrote him into the, we did a whole episode on it. Or was that episode deleted or something?
No,
I
don't know. It might be on alternative platforms if there was some censorship or whatever going on YouTube. But it was probably around the time that we first started hearing about this. You're talking about the Pope from Chicago, are you?
Yeah, Chicago or Detroit. I don't even remember. I
When
just remember watching the episode.
new Pope get selected or elected or whatever?
That's what
around
I've got to
May
look up,
8th. So it would have been around early May that we would have talked about Pope Leo the 14th.
Which is the current Pope, around early May.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my own research and I'll find the episode.
Okay.
If you remember, you've got my email too. You can email me. But I'll look around early May, did you say?
Yeah.
All right, and tell that commenter that, do your own research on Google, anyone else. Pope is not I call them dirty, but he's not Jewish. He's not any type of Jew at all.
Well, the reason that he called him that is that he was not, I don't even know if he really was saying that he really is Jewish. It's just that he was saying that Trump is in favor of Israel and not in favor of America first. That's what he was trying to say. He's not for America. He's for the Jews. He's for Israel against America.
I'm pretty sure the Great White Hope is for the whole world, I hope.
I
really hope you do take down Iran and show them that, with a few preemptive strikes, that we don't have to start a World War III. But if the whole world has to align and the jacks have to come with you,
that's right.
And even Russia has to come with you, we'll strike them too if we need to. So Iran better get their stuff together, or their own people will do it to them. We don't need another hanging on live TV, but if we do, then, mate, public execution. These millennials have no idea what type of earth they've just stepped into, so we need to prove it to them in one way or another. You remember what we did to, I don't even remember his name, but we stole all his gold and hung him on. Saddam Hussein, exactly, back in the 90s, mate, Like, when I was a kid, Mum's like, you're not even going to school today, kid. Get on the lounge. We're watching this. They're about to hang a dictator, That was a mad day watching that. Anyway, I'll let you get back to your calls. I just wanted to address that. It set me off when it said Trump's due. The Great White Hope, I love him too. Black Power, White Power, love from Australia. I'm watching the rest of the show, but I'm trading too. Hey, love you very much, Hake.
Thank you, sir.
Around early May, I'll look. Thank you for taking my call. Have a lovely day. Night.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
William III in California is on the line here. William, thanks for calling and holding, sir. Priority caller.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Your stuff went out yesterday, so
Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there.
I could tell. I hung up and I called right back and told him, because he usually be able to hear the show while you're on hold.
Right.
And when that went black, I knew.
Okay.
Was up, so.
Yeah, we had to restart the system.
I wanted to address a couple of things. You should be slow to speak a lot of times, because I never said that 60,000 in Minnesota was deported or registered. And that was not what I said.
Stay loud when you're speaking here so that you come across.
I said
loud.
I did not say 60,000 people were deported from Minnesota.
Okay.
This is misinformation. It's more like 6,000. And if you're a Democrat doing math, it would be exactly half of that, which would make 3. So that's what he quoted, 3. You're a Democrat. I'm sure you would say that. No, yeah, they did report the numbers for 2025. It was like 1.4 million. A lot of people left, self-deported. And
right.
650, I heard 650, allegedly. Let's just say that, allegedly, 650. That's a little smidgen over 3 million. If he could do that 3 more years, that goes a little bit smidgen over 12. That ain't bad with the judges.
We have never seen, you know what, they are ignoring that there is a major fight against Trump. And they're also, let me make this point. They're ignoring that there's a major fight against Trump doing the deportations.
Judges and protesters.
Yep, and they are ignoring that we have never seen ICE operations out in the open in many, many, many major cities out in the open like this.
And, at the same time.
Yeah. Every single president prior has been wishy-washy and giving forms of amnesty, including the supposed Republicans. Give me a break. And
so
Obama.
You're saying basically you've never seen anybody put this kind of work in as Trump is putting in.
We have for the first time, we have a net negative migration because people are not being allowed in, and we have the border pretty well under control. The wall is being built and was being built in the first term too. There was a major fight against that, and they're pretending like Trump was only pretending like he wanted to enforce the border. No, he's serious.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
You know, and then they say we're going to defund ICE. And I like the way Democrats do. They like to say a lot of things that's not true. You're not going to defund ICE. They've already been funded. So what they're going to do is they're going to threaten to shut the government down. And the money that they're talking about is affiliated with FEMA and road construction for the hurricanes, the damage.
Right.
So they just fight against themselves and shoot themselves in the foot. Wanted to address one of your super chats. Very interesting. Is it Popcorn that made the statement about Marx when he says Negro?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to straighten that out. I don't not think Mark means anything by that. Why do I say that? Because if you're a certain age, that's what it says on your birth certificate.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know I have my parents are deceased, but I have their birth certificates. One was born in Texas, one born in Louisiana. The mother was born in Louisiana. Her birth certificate, born in the 40s, actually said colored. My father's born in the 40s, early 40s. His birth certificate said Negro. So that I don't think Mark means anything, and I do understand what your super chatter was talking about. Was that Popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Popcorn. I don't think he means anything by it because that's how they used to refer to us was Negro, colored, for many, many years. And then they tried the Afro-American thing, and then corporate America said it's a little bit too much, and then they went to black for the longest. And then Spike Lee comes along with his racist movies, and then all of a sudden now they're African-American. So they really don't understand.
They have the media people trained so bad that people that there's journalists or reporter women. There's a reporter woman who referred to a foreign black in a foreign country as an African American. It's so funny.
They do that a lot.
Yeah,
they do that a lot. But this guys that are up in Minnesota, they got this new group called the New Black Panther Party. Now, being from San Francisco, that's where it started. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, and all of them. That was back in the 60s a very heavy group, and many of them have tried since then. Black Panthers, SLA. Then we got some really goofy guys like the Hebrews and the Black. You got those groups. They've always tried. Remember, they always have this thing that the white man's going to kiss their feet and then they're going to be put to death if they don't take slavery. But it doesn't never work. But those groups up in the Bay Area with the Black Panther Party in the 60s have had issues with other groups with infringement title rights. You know, they're not really you know, and the bottom line is they've always talked a good show, but if they made one move on white people the way that they say they're going to do when the revolution comes, the U.S. government will kill every last one of them.
Wow.
And that's what happened with the original Black Panthers party anyway. They either went to prison, they ran to Russia, they ran to Cuba, or they died, or they were killed.
Interesting.
So it never worked. It never worked. But the Negro thing, it was on a lot of our birth certificates. It's on mine, actually, because I was born in 60. Like David in Ocala, he's born in 61. He probably knows about that, too, but I don't think Mark means anything by that.
Right on. Thank you, sir.
You know, we had a sighting of a mountain lion in the city limits.
Yeah, you know what? There are coyotes down here in early January. It's their season to be out around. I heard there's been signs up saying, "Oh, watch out for coyote sightings." So
coyote, yeah, but we had a mountain lion.
A mountain lion. Those are
in Pacific Heights.
What's Pacific Heights? I'm not familiar. That's a
district in San Francisco. That's where I own my property, my apartment building. It's pretty condensed. A lot of people.
Interesting.
Mountain lion.
Also known as a cougar.
Yeah. Right, you know, they can mess you up. Up there where you be hiking, up there, they have those.
Yep. Yeah, we had to keep our eyes peeled. When we were running in Marshall Canyon out in east in the suburbs of LA, we would carry rocks and stand tall and not be stragglers or look like we're unsuspecting, because they like to go after the small, the weak, the unsuspecting. And if you throw rocks at them and make noise, they won't tend to bother you.
You rarely see them, though. They're really private. And if you do get to see one, you know, you're in imminent danger. You see a mountain lion, it can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah. There's been little confrontations. 77-pound male mountain lion. They're not huge, but they're big enough to do some major. They can even kill, I bet.
They can kill. They can kill. This one was a cub and a male. I think it was a male cub, and they just took him across the bridge over to Oakland.
Oh,
and
good.
Let him go up there by the Oakland Zoo. What is that? Golf links area. It's kind of mountain tree, lots of trees and mountains. They just let him go up in the Oakland Hills.
Nice.
You know, so he can live his life, right?
Yeah. I'm showing video here. Let me see if I can show this video. Oh my gosh, that is a big cat. That's no house cat.
Yeah.
Dude. Yes. Leave the door open.
Standing on the porch.
It's right in the middle.
Woman's cussing.
It's just frozen.
Oh my God, get in the car. Seriously?
Leave the door open. No, I'm fine.
Don't turn your back.
He was, I don't know anybody that said they seen him, but I think he was around the California Street area. There's a hill up there, a bunch of apartment buildings, and he's doing his thing going from alley to alley, but that could be kind of dangerous. You gotta be careful. Yeah. Yeah. So the Negro thing is, I don't take offense of it at all. You know, as a matter of fact, I think a teacher just got in trouble for using the N-word in Arizona or something. She got fired as a substitute teacher.
Yeah, I saw that. JLP covered that.
Yeah. You know, they get, you know, I don't know. You had I have to roll with Mark on something and let you get some more calls, but I don't know whether yesterday or the other day, dude. Remember, I've been telling you, if you don't want to go to work, just call in sick, dude. You had 2 calls with Ryan, is it Brian or Steven, both of them, and it was terrible. I have to roll with Mark on that, dude. You should have been fired. That was ridiculous. What was your problem, dude? And then you had the black dude cursing.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh no, that guy. It was a white man who was cussing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible. No, it's you know me. You remember how I used to get with.
Why do you act like you 7? Why do you act like you 7 sometimes? Like you don't know what to do. What's going on with that, man? You having a mental block?
I got to grow up. I got to grow up.
Yeah.
I get carried away arguing with these liberals, and I'm not
James,
sure what to do about it. We'll see.
You have a problem. You like talking to the dumbest black people ever. They not represent us. Why do you do that? Why do you get stuck on them? Why? And I'm
some
not
of them
saying
are
this
some of them
because
are
I think
fun.
They love to call you coon, but I've been wanting to be one all my life. Larry Elder, JLP, those are coons. I'm a coon too.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm white, James. I do white things.
Carried away with callers.
You know what I said? I do white things.
Right.
I am not white. I just do white things.
Point taken, sir.
Why do you get stuck on these blacks? Why don't you just tell them people can talk about them? Why do they think nobody can?
Silly.
They can talk about you. They can talk about me. They can talk about anybody.
That's right.
I'll let you get these calls, man. I'll talk to you. You have a good weekend, man, okay?
Thank you. And you as well.
All right. All right.
Bye. TERRI, Oregon. Mrs. TERRI, how you doing?
Hello, Mr. Hake. I'm well, thank you.
Right on.
Yeah, I was inspired by one of your crazy callers yesterday. Brian, maybe? I don't remember. The guy that cussed.
Brian from St. Louis, who talked with me for 33 minutes.
Yeah, it was painful. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I guess I got inspired to call, so it's all good.
Right on.
Yeah, he was, one thing that struck me was how angry he was getting that you didn't watch video of Alex Pretti getting illed K.
Right.
And I've noticed that people get really mad if you don't want to expose yourself to this kind of stuff, or if you don't want to have like a strong opinion about it. Like, I don't know if it's that people are just really polarized and they want you to take a side and they want you to be like as angry and riled up as they are.
Yeah.
In one way or another. But it's really weird. And it's not normal. It really isn't. Like, we should be allowed to like be uninterested or not as interested. But it seems like people are not okay with that.
Yeah. And especially if you're not that interested, but you take a different position. Because I didn't agree with him, and I said Alex Pretti did it to himself, Because I like JLP's. You're responsible for you. And he said Michael Brown is dead because of Michael Brown. And Alex Pretti is dead because of Alex Pretti. It's nobody's fault but his, because he put himself in that situation where you don't know if you think that cops are wrong, these cops are doing wrong. What makes you think that they might not do wrong to you? No,
That's a very good point.
Yeah, and they might have done wrong to him. There's a civil rights investigation into the Alex Pretti situation by the DOJ, I heard.
Well, okay, good. It's being investigated,
Yep.
and hopefully, like, if anything was wrong, then justice will be served.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. This is a mess.
Yeah.
This whole situation's crazy. I guess to pivot off of that, we've been having a lot of local solidarity actions in Portland with Minneapolis. And I ended up going to a, protest that was happening against ICE, and it was really shocking because I don't know, I haven't been an activist for probably 15 years or so.
Oh wow! Okay.
And when I was, it was really different. Like, not that people wouldn't call for revolution or be open communists, but literally everyone was an open communist and calling for general strikes and revolution. And then I went around to some of the tables, and they were really radical, way more radical than I was expecting.
Interesting.
So I'm kind of I was okay, this is interesting. It's changed a lot. Before, I would be more, when I'd be out doing my thing, I would be a lot more, I guess, tepid about how I would approach these conversations, and people would not want to hear, you know, about socialism and that kind of thing. But now it's like so many people are just like gung ho for it, which is an interesting change, I guess.
Yeah. Socialism has the sting of the word socialist has been taken away completely. It is to where it's really openly embraced. You know how people are openly embracing being racist on our side?
Mm-hmm.
People are way more openly embracing being socialist or or even communist on their side.
I guess, yeah, it's to be expected.
Yeah.
But I guess, today is a day of action. There's like,
oh yeah,
there's been a general strike happening in Minneapolis where all these unions, all the most radical unions, have been leading the charge to, you know, have people not work. A bunch of businesses, local businesses here, are shutting down, and it's really cool.
In solidarity.
Like, they're like,
or because they're concerned about looking like scabs, if you will.
Yeah, but they're not even union businesses. They're just
no.
Small
But I don't mean
shops.
by scabs. I mean people. They don't want to look like they're supporting ICE because they know that there's a anti-ICE, whatever protest / boycott, where they're boycotting. They're boycotting businesses and things, right? From what I saw.
Yeah, maybe, but I think they're probably also just aligned with it, so they're fine to take a day off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Even though it's going to cost them money. And then businesses that are like more liberal, but they don't want to shut down, are like, we'll donate some of our money. But like the cool thing is the local papers are all listing what these businesses are. So I know, like, you know, who are businesses to avoid. So that's good.
Yeah, that's funny.
Is anything happening like that there? Did you see anything in that regard?
No, I mean, I kind of stay in my little bubble, and so I don't really necessarily know what's going on in LA. I don't really keep up with local announcements or anything. Sometimes my Citizen app.
But you do the Hake News.
I do the Hake News, but it's not local stuff. It's CNN, you know, commie nonsense national news. So I heard that I'm sure that there's something going on in LA. Anti-ICE protests, nationwide demonstrations expected against Trump's immigration enforcement efforts. Boycotting school, work, and shopping. And so that's in, what did they specifically say? Minneapolis, New York City, and Atlanta, and dozens of other cities around the country, metropolitan areas. Per CNN, commie nonsense.
I just remember when I was like a commie, the idea of a general strike was so lofty, and like it seemed to me like impossible almost. And now it seems like we could be facing this kind of stuff in the future, and it's kind of scary, to be honest.
Well, you know, enough of our neighbors, enough of our fellow countrymen, if you will, are brainwashed into this type of thing, that you're right, they can have an impact. And that's why I think people don't really realize that Trump is quite wise in in moderating his actions, because yes, it would be right to go full bore on immigration and don't back down on the immigration enforcement, but you have to work with the reasonable number of there are reasonable people who are falling for this. And if you can get those people back into the fold of reasonableness, then they won't be fooled as easily by the unreasonable people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm really comforted that Trump is president at this time.
As long as Daddy's in charge, everything will be okay.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's only one man. He can only do so much.
That's right.
You know, at the end of the day, the country is facing, you know, challenges that are much larger than who the president is. It's always been the case. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess I wanted to be like, yeah, we don't have to have an opinion about things.
That's so
Sometimes
true.
It's okay to like chill out and not be so invested. You know, I've never watched the video of George Floyd getting unalived.
Good for you.
I've never known it.
I only watched that like a year or two ago, and it was in 2020, 5 years ago, right? More than 5 years ago, 5.5.
Yeah, like, and I don't know, the Alex Pretti thing. I've seen footage of it, but I don't want to sit back and like watch this kind of stuff. It's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's you know, I don't think it's good for people. They watch this stuff and they get all hyped up and agitated, and things like this go down with law enforcement every day.
That's
like
right.
I sent in that like super chat yesterday because I was getting so irritated. Ryan calling in and like he sounds so smug. Like, oh look, white people are getting killed now. What y'all think? And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
Ryan in Illinois. That's true.
white people have always been illed by cops. Like
Yep.
this idea that they don't like we're the number one group to get ill by cops. Like
Yeah, because we're the number one group in the
that's right. We're number one
population wise. At least.
And yeah, Kevin pointed out that blacks don't understand per capita, so we should run with that more.
Totally. You are right about the not having an opinion. You're pretty brave for going to that protest and I guess you've been.
I look liberal. I'm fine, and you know.
You're liberal passing. I look sort of liberal passing myself. I'm not in the best. I'm not super jacked necessarily. I'm deceivingly strong. I don't look strong, but I don't, you know. And I have that little
meek enough, and like I could go off and be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm also not. I avoid anything that I know is going to be crazy. Like.
That's right.
You know, so I just wanted to see what was going on because I don't know. Well, my husband's been filming some content. So
okay.
I've been doing that, yeah.
Right on.
But yeah,
don't get dogs or whatever.
I think it's good to document this stuff too, and to have an idea what's going on in your community.
Right on.
And how bad it is too.
True.
Well, anyway, take care, Hake. Have a good weekend.
You as well, Terry. Mrs. Terry.
Bye.
Take care. Jermaine in Canada. Before I get to popcorn and the other super chats, Jermaine, thank you for calling and holding, sir. You're live.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, James, 007 sharpshooter who never misses. Hey, man, how's Cali today?
Cali is beautiful. Cali, California is 80 degrees yesterday and today. 82 today is the projection. Not that that's necessarily nice. I mean, it's January. It's supposed to be the dead of winter. But I guess global warming is true after all.
Shout out to the activists.
Yeah. Beautiful, mentally ill Swedish child turned young lady. Mildly attractive.
Yeah, man. But what's going on with Canada, man? Alberta, they're separatists now. What is this, Star Wars? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I saw that. Like, Alberta wants to... Did I see that over here? Yeah, Alberta separatists met with our greatest presidents, well, U.S. officials, seeking Trump's help to split from Canada.
That's not a setup.
It totally could be. Who knows? Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said he expects Trump to respect Canadian sovereignty. But there are people in Canada who would love to be the 51st state.
Amazing. Yeah. And you know, he was saying he after Trump said, like, listen, if Canada's going to go and align with China, he's going to slap 100% tariffs on us. And Mark Carney, he's like, no, you know, we're just stuff that happened. We're trying to fix that happened in the past. We're trying to fix now. But apparently today he signed the deal, right? So that's interesting.
Oh, Mark Carney and Trump did?
No. With China, he signed a deal with China.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's bold. China is a big daddy.
Yeah.
Competing a stepdad. China's trying to be stepdad.
You're
Canada's rejecting their father.
Yeah. He's saying, listen, the EVs, the cheap EVs will make Canada more affordable. I'm like, okay, buddy, keep thinking that.
That's funny.
But the main reason I call is I'm going to be a little bit a liberal today.
Okay.
I just want to touch on the immigration thing that's happening in Minnesota when it comes to the illegal immigrants. My point is, I want to see how you handle this one. Jesus was an immigrant, when he was born in the manger, and the prophecy was told that a child will be born and you'll become king or whatever, and the king he had fear of what might come, and he went to slaughter all children and just kill them all, and Jesus had to run away, and he's an immigrant now. So what do you think about these immigrants that are in Minnesota that Trump are shipping back home?
I think it's just fine, because Jesus eventually, although he did immigrate with Joseph and Mary, I heard, to Egypt for a bit. Thank you, Egypt. We appreciate it. I think he returned back to his homeland after a time. And so just as Jesus returned to his homeland, so must these illegals, immigrants, return to theirs. And it's not death penalty, and we wish you well, and hopefully the skills that you learned in America can be used to rebuild your dilapidated countries.
I like that. Because if you've been here for so long, you must have learned some type of skill,
Right.
Something that when you go back to your country, you can make an impact. You can go back and actually make your country greater, like Jesus did. and Trump is not ordering to go execute the children. This is not, what's that Order 99 in Star Wars?
Oh, that's funny. That's right. He's not.
Oh man, what a mess! It's just funny because then they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, all people are illegals." The white people came and take over the country, and I'm like, these people are they're just listening to anything that comes to their mind, and they just say,
"Yeah."
That's just what I was
totally
interested. All right, man, that was just my little thing there for today, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, bye, cheers.
Bye. Before I get to Rob in NorCal is up next. But before I get to Rob, I want to get to the beautiful super chats. Look, there's Alberta next to British Columbia. So Alberta is kind of like our Nevada or our Montana. It's north of Montana and Idaho. British Columbia is kind of like their California, except it's colder, of course. It's further north. And then there's Saskatchewan. I've heard of that. There's Manitoba. And then there's Ontario, which is more over, not to be confused with the Ontario, California. There is an Ontario, California over here. Let's see. Come on, where's the 10 freeway? There it is. It's over here somewhere. Pasadena, San Bernardino, Ontario, California. You see that? Ontario International Airport, not to be confused with Ontario, Canada, which is not directly north of California. That's more BC, British Columbia, and Alberta. I'm teaching myself a little geography, okay? Because I love and respect geography now that I'm older. There's Ontario, Canada, which includes their part of the Great Lakes, their half of the Great Lakes. Do we have the bigger half, or do they have the bigger half? Halves are supposed to be 50% equal. And then there's Quebec or Quebec. And then there's Newfoundland, also known as Newfoundland, and Labrador. And then there's Nova Scotia. I've heard of Nova Scotia. Cool. And then there's other stuff that I don't know. And then Toronto is over there by New York. Not to be confused with Vancouver. Vancouver? Yeah, Vancouver over here. And Victoria, is there a Vancouver on our side too? Are there two Vancouvers or something? Victoria is where all the best Canadian indie musicians are. Does anybody say indie anymore. Anyway, that's not Popcorn Thump Keg's super chat. Popcorn Thump Keg says, pardon me, had Nicky made a, pardon my strange interlude there. Okay, so geography, Canada. Popcorn. Had Nicki Minaj made a public appearance and said that she disliked the Great White Hope or expressed opposition to his quote-unquote policies, the same people currently cheering her on for expressing support of him would be going, who cares what she has to say? She's just a dumb rapper. That's a fact. Well, although they may not have heard it, Popcorn, because it's relatively unremarkable for a rapper to be a lame-o dumb liberal. You know, it's more remarkable or unusual or newsworthy for a rapper to be not a dumb liberal, but, well, she may still be a dumb liberal, but she's a pro-Christian, pro-Trump, pro-J.D. Vance, pro-Nigeria for the Christians person, gal, running her mouth about politics. So is she still just a dumb rapper? Is she based? Women are based when they are quiet, and men are often much more based when quiet, too. Men tend to be more quiet than the gals. Sometimes men are too quiet. But anyway, is she a useful idiot? How does this work? A useful idiot is only reserved, sir, for communism. So if she were to spout communist talking points like Alex Pretti was executed, shot like a dog, then that would be a communist talking point. Then she would be a useful idiot. Useful idiot, because useful idiot is a communist term for people who are suckers for their stuff. Something like that. Let me ask Grok as well. This is ridiculous. This is not content. Whereas, come on, man, to crack the whip. Watch. They're trying to give me two responses to. You're spot on that useful idiot's a term with deep ties to the Cold War era anti-communist rhetoric, which is to say Nazi. No, I'm kidding. 1940s communist term coined by figures like Lenin or Stalin, despite not coined by them, despite popular myths. All right, but anyway, let me go back to Popcorn. I don't want to get carried away. How does this work? You know, you notice that JLP did not get excited about her. He was like, this woman, this gal. As far as Mark using the word Negro, I suppose there's no need to opine on that. He can clarify if he wants to. He uses the term savages as well. Any malice there? Sometimes. I mean, definitely. I mean, that he's sort of a malicious person. He's tired. He's sick of it. He is, I don't know if he would even begrudge me saying, a grumpy, older, not old, man. Crotchety. And to your point, Popcorn, he is admitted as such that he loves people being mad at what he says. And so that is part of the motivation in what he says. So it may well be that he says Negro to get under people's skin. I just never read it that way. As much as William III, whom I respect, likes Mark, in Mark's world, William couldn't be a neighbor of his. Yeah, but that's irrelevant. And Mark recognizes William as one of the good ones. An honorable man. You know, anyway. To take that for what it's worth, yeah, it's not worth really anything. In my view, it's tough to argue about character, that it's about character and not race when you're dividing drumroll by race. But it's not too tough to argue that, honestly. I mean, Mark doesn't argue that it's about character as much. He argues that it is about race, and race sort of informs the poor character, you know, and anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, Mark, the house next to you is for sale. Why can't William III live there? Not much else to say? There's more than one. It's a big old world. You can find William III can find us another spot. He has properties, you know. Lastly, what are your thoughts on Don Lemon being arrested? I don't really have many thoughts on it. I don't really know my opinion about it. There, Popcorn. I'll tell you what I don't want is a they do it to us, so we're doing it to them now type of thing. At least not in spirit. I want true justice. And Trump is about true justice as opposed to revenge, I think. So we'll see what happens. Hope that's satisfactory there, Popcorn. Nicky, Mark, W3, Don Lemon. Barbecue Pringle, 70% of births out of wedlock. Highest in incest rate. 2018 FBI stat. Black fathers, the worst. I bet you they're stepfathers. They're real fathers? No. Highest STI and STD rate. What's the difference between a STI infection and STD disease? I feel like STI is a newfangled word because they don't want to call it disease, so they just call it infection. Highest delinquency rate, highest crime rate, highest welfare drain, highest homicide rate, highest homicide against cops. Data suggests 50 times the rate of non-blacks. Likelihood to kill a cop. And that's, I think that's true. Last I looked, which was a while ago. Data suggests they're 10 times more likely to kill whites than whites are to kill them. Actually, it's like 11 or 12 since 1960, but you might be, you're roughly correct. That data was available, but is no longer available. It says Barbecue Pringle, lowest IQ, lowest amount of respect, lowest integrity, lowest quality of work, even lower than the Mexican jobs, the Mickey Mouse. Perhaps. Yeah, man. It is and that is a significant problem. I heard that there was some question about if Black Americans were to leave and take their business elsewhere, leave America and take their business elsewhere, would America suffer that economic loss? Or would we come out ahead, or what? I've seen arguments that they are a net drain on society. Net drain. Meaning per capita, they cost more to society than they contribute in terms of just money. Interesting. It is a significant issue. And, people don't even have to know these statistics and you can even quibble about the statistics, but just dealing with them, they're of a different mindset and they're not aware of themselves. And I'm talking even the smart, so-called, and intellectual and educated ones. I think that people like Anchor Baby and I have both said people are right about each other sometimes. They may be right about us and we are right about them. It was like a caller called in to exhort Kurt and Derek about their mindset, their derangement syndrome. And the caller was making a point and rather than accepting the point, one of them said, "You're doing what you're accusing us of doing." So endless finger pointing when there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. No, you. Coffee. Stats. All right, let me just double check over on this super chats. Looks like I'm pretty well. Oh boy. Before I get to Rob in NorCal, one quick last super chat before I get to him from Cesar or Cesar. Cesar says, "Sup, Hake? What's up, Cesar? Couple points today. I got to thank Eric again for the book recommendations. Started one of them. Love it. It's like JLP's message, but on steroids. Popcorn, please stop being a mama. Mama, you're supposed to be a man. What's wrong with the word Negro? I know we're not supposed to do ifs, but if you found out Trump were a Freemason, how would you feel about that?" I wouldn't feel anything because I have no real strong opinion about the Freemasons. Yesterday, I found that ChatGPT is anti-Christian. Oh, man, I could have told you that, but I'm glad that you found out for yourself. I can prove it if you need me to. I have plenty more points, but I'll end it here. Have a safe and blessed or blessed weekend, y'all. 10 Dominican praying thanks hands emoji. Thank you, sir. Yes, ChatGPT is not Christian. I think the guy behind OpenAI is not even morally straight. I think that's what I saw. Now, some people may not be morally straight, but they're for Christianity, in general. They're not specifically, explicitly anti-Christian. But what makes you bring up the Freemason question, the FQ? I don't know if our first president, George Washington, was a good president or not. I thought that he was, but I wasn't around. And what do I know if I were? What would I know if I... What do I know? Nothing. Info may be false here on the Hake Report. But I heard that he was a Freemason. Were Freemasons good back then? Were they a mixed bag? Are there good and bad Freemasons? Mostly bad, some good. Maybe you guys tend to claim, oh, the people at the top are the bad ones. But that's not always just strictly solely the case. Occasionally Israel, the ancient Israel of the Bible, had a good king. There must have been occasionally America has had a good president in Trump, for example, or Andrew Jackson, anybody? Or maybe Teddy Roosevelt, not sure. Honest Abe is very divisive nowadays. They say, oh, he was the worst, or I loved him. So I don't know, man. I don't care. He doesn't seem very Freemason-y. He seems fully himself. Thanks, Cesar. Cesar. Yep. Rob in NorCal, Northern California. How you doing?
Doing all right, Hake. How are you?
Doing fine.
Happy Flat Earth Friday.
Hey, shout out.
I noticed with your JLP coffee promo, seems that you might be a closet flat earther.
Really?
Yeah, you have a little flat earth you have a little flat earth what's it called? Model behind that coffee bag.
Oh yeah, I do. I have this one. You're eagle-eyed Don Cherry's son. I didn't know that Eagle-Eye Cherry was the son of Don Cherry. Did you know? Don Cherry, the black jazz or something or other artist, musician, something. And Eagle-Eye Cherry, 90s, Save Tonight, Tomorrow. But anyway, you have the eagle eye. And yes, I am holding up my flat earth model given to me by the very man who gave me this beach ball earth. And thank you to my Flat Earth fans. They're both from a Flat Earth fan who gave me my honorary Flat Earth Society certificate for my tireless efforts to promote the Flat Earth to people all over the world.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good man. So did you have a chance to look at that short that I gave you? And if not, there are some just straight slides that we have not gotten to on X. formerly and betterly known as Twitter.
So I can check my X DMs from you.
Okay.
And what is your? Is it Robbie Dangerously or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And you showed me this asteroid or cartoon, supposedly an image from Hubble Space Telescope, and 2021.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about Instagram Reel. Is that what you're talking about? Probably.
Yeah, that Instagram Reel.
Okay,
it's a short. It's a short.
Yeah.
But it explains the math. It explains the math of the
okay.
the curve.
Let me refresh this and play it. Here, let me expand a touch.
All right.
On January 16th, 2021, a group of flat earthers went out with lasers to the Great Salt Lake to scientifically determine whether a large body of water curves at the rate of 8 inches per mile squared, as required by the globe model, or whether large bodies of water at rest are indeed flat. 2 sites were chosen. One group was located at the corner of Antelope Island at these coordinates. The other group was located at the south side of the Great Salt Lake at these coordinates. The total distance between the 2 points was 21 miles. The globe model predicts that at a distance of 21 miles at 8 inches per mile squared, 21 times 8 inches divided by 12, you get a curvature drop of 294 feet. You can verify the same amount with several online calculators, including this one and this one. But to determine how much should be hidden behind the Earth's bulge, you must include the laser height of 5 feet. Accordingly, under the globe, either observer would have to be on a tower 222 feet high, like this one, standing on top of the beacon at the very top to see the bright source of the laser 21 miles away if we lived on a globe. Shockingly, the bright sources of the laser were seen by both groups at both sides of the lake at approximately 5 feet above the water. The flat Earth was confirmed and filmed by both parties. On January 16th, 2021, a group of flat earthers went out with lasers to the Great Salt Lake to scientifically determine whether...
It's just repeating now.
Yeah, yep.
See, so that makes sense, right?
I don't know what I was trying to crank some other volume and it wasn't going up, so that's partly why I let it play.
It was loud in my ear. It might have just been my...
Yeah, you know what? I think you get a different feed. You get a different audio feed from the stream, the live stream.
Nice. So see how that makes a lot more sense? Now, if you want to go to the slides, we can check out the path of the yeah, that's so good. They're drawing on my door with markers. It shows the path of the ISS and satellites. Or right, that first one actually, that first one you got where it's all flat. See how high that's it's taking a picture of? Now, from left to right, there should be a curve there.
What makes you say that?
Because the distance is so far, according to globe science math. Globe science math is the math that says that a distance that far would show a curve. Because, the 8 inches per mile squared thing. And so,
not necessarily.
It's math. It's just math.
No.
Because
look,
of the circumference.
No, because you're not
circumference.
Right. What you're looking at is a curved line, but it looks straight. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you're trying to mean.
Yeah. I don't know if you do. Okay, so let me open up my
Oh, you're drawing? No, don't drawing.
You inspire me to be an artist. Okay, so here is
you can draw my doors, my daughters.
Here is the Earth. Oh, how come it didn't go blue? And then here's the here's the International Space Station up above Earth, and it can see to there, and it can see, this is the field of view. It can see to there. It can't see the whole Earth, right? And so it can see that type of a circle, right? And this is greatly exaggerated because it's not even that big. So the line that the horizon is not a segment. It's not a curved segment. It's a disc. It is a flattish disc. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, I know what you're trying to mean.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of the ISS, look at the one where it shows the path of it. Now, these are like path points that are recorded, by people.
Okay.
Now, according to satellite theory, it's only supposed to be going around the Earth. It's beautiful. Good job. It's supposed to be going around the globe in a straight line, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe sort of.
Well, because, what's going to be? How's it going to
It's not
turn
necessarily
in space?
following the lines of latitude.
But it would be following a straight path. What would make it curve like that and go south and then north and then south and then north?
I know what it would.
Going around the ball.
Yeah.
Yes. Do tell.
Okay. So, I don't know exactly, but I'm going to try to draw it. I'm going to try to draw. Okay. Here's the ISS. And here's the. Let's pretend that this is the equator, right? And I'll do a dotted line for the back side of the equator.
I'm a little behind, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries. And then so the ISS is mostly, let's pretend that the ISS is mostly over the northern hemisphere, but it's going around any old which way. And it's going kind of, here, let me do a red line. Here's the red line of the ISS. Here's the ISS. And it's going,
But what's keeping it allegedly close to the Earth? That's supposed to be gravity, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's constantly falling towards the Earth. Yeah.
So
like that.
how would it go from side to side if the gravity at its minimal effect up there is only keeping it in a straight line, because they launched it in a straight line.
Yeah, let's.
And they're counting on inertia, keep it going forward. There's
but it is going in a straight line, but the Earth is at a different tilt, and so the Earth's rotation, the Earth's spin, and the spin of the and the orbiting of the International Space Station is not a line of latitude. You know how the lines of latitude, here, let me draw the lines of latitude, they go like this.
Oh, the floor's lava. Okay, you got to stay off of the floor.
Here's a line of latitude. Oops, that's not a very good line of latitude. Here's the line of latitude. Okay, here, let me do it in green. Here's a line of latitude.
Okay.
Parallel to the equator. And this line of latitude is getting crossed over by the International Space Station is going because it starts out above the equator, and then it dips down below the equator, and it keeps on going around. Above and below, in a straight thing.
So then that would mean that they would be launching the satellites from a rocket at an angle? So are they launching the satellite from east to west, or are they doing it from
it's something like northeast? It's like it's like east northeast, and then east northeast eventually becomes southwest, or what? I don't know. You know what I mean?
I feel like your brain's about to break right now.
But anyway, like it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the globe is spinning here, right?
So why does it? So why does
this thing
it?
Is going,
equator
this thing is going up and around, up and around. Yep. Yeah. So that's why it looks like this.
So why isn't the equator then also going kind of up to the north and then down to the south and up to the north and down to the south?
Because the equator signifies the the equator is the spin of the Earth, the rotation of the Earth, right? The equator is like the center line, the imaginary center line of the center of the Earth, and then it's kind of the midpoint between the two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, on which it's spinning. And then meanwhile, while it's spinning, this thing is flying here, here. And so it looks like it's going up, and then it's going down. So that's why it looks like that. Boom.
What?
Boom.
Yeah. Okay. And then last one, and then I'll let you go.
Yeah.
The one where it shows the first astronaut to land on the moon, and then this is the press conference that they had afterwards. Now, when you see somebody win the Super Bowl, they look pretty excited.
Yeah,
right?
because that's excitable black immature stuff. This is manly.
Oh, okay. When they win a golf tournament, they look excited.
These guys are tired because they're already tired. This is the boring part. Look, they have pencil and paper and have to sit in an office. They just got to go into space. They're excited about being in space. They're not excited about being in a boring old indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so look at this meme, people. Let me explain the meme for the audio podcast listeners. There's three young to middle-aged men, younger age, middle-aged men. These three men are A, trying to remember the Pythagorean theorem from their 8th grade geometry lessons. B, liars who are ashamed of their participation in deceiving the American people and the rest of the mankind. C, ecstatic and victorious explorers who, against all odds, achieved the greatest accomplishment in human history by successfully conquering space and setting foot on the moon. You guys have silly expectations of what it is to be a man. An adventuresome man.
I'm pretty sure it's either A or B, and I'm leaning towards B.
That's funny. No, a man would be like, yay, we get to go out of space. Oh, man, now we have to sit at a press conference.
Yeah.
This one is funny. I like your one with the sun peeking through the clouds. It should all be straight.
With the sun?
Parallel,
So
straight
that's
down.
Exactly, because if the sun is... Yeah, that's right. If the sun is like 90 times the size of the Earth, then the light rays that would make it to the Earth would be straight.
Right.
But since the sun is not bigger than the Earth, and it's smaller than the Earth, and just is local, meaning, above the Earth, above the flat Earth, and just going around, that's why the rays go out into an angle to create kind of a triangle, right? And the triangle can be calculated by the angles of the rays.
I'm not sure what the cause is of these angles, but you would be this 93 millions away fake thing where the rays would be all straight up and down. That's only if it were like high noon, of course, right? But you're ignoring the fact that the sun is at a great angle most of the time. It's rarely noon. And even at noon, it's not straight up above. And then the other thing is the clouds are at like different angles from us, and then the clouds could cause. I wonder if these clouds are causing a sort of a prism effect. You know how a prism will like kind of look a little different, cast the rays in different angles.
That's called diffraction.
Yeah, diffraction.
A prism would diffract the angles of the rays, but a prism is also
that's how we get rainbows.
Shape. No, we don't get rainbows from that. We
Clouds
get rainbows
are shapes?
from the firmament. No, we get rainbows from the firmament,
which is the atmosphere.
No, it's like your model, your flat Earth model. But also too, when you hear thunder. The reason why thunder rumbles like that is because it's the cracking of the clouds, the electrostatic, but then it reverberates against the firmament inside that dome. Yeah, that's why we get that sound of thunder. So it sounds like it's rumbling.
That's funny.
Yeah, so thunder and rainbows are both caused like that's why it's curved like that, because it's the like when you spray like water in the air and you get that rainbow effect and it's curved. That's because the sun is bouncing off of the firmament, and it's the shape of the light coming in those different directions, because the firmament is curved, that's how it makes that rainbow. That's how it diffracts through the water sprinkles that you're doing.
Nice.
So yeah, the firmament explains a lot of that stuff.
I'm glad you got in a little earlier, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking my call, Hake. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Take care.
You guys have a great weekend. Later.
Appreciate it. Mark in Los Angeles, priority caller, sir. How you doing, Mark?
Good. I wanted to answer, or I should say, I wanted to answer Popcorn. I call Negroes Negroes because that's what they are. It's not a racial slur. It's a descriptive word.
Okay.
And as far as, and then when he brought up the word savage, I'm referring to as an example, the savage that stabbed the girl on the train. The savages that are killing our people on a daily basis. Come on, Popcorn.
Right. Yeah.
Don't be stupid
Descriptive
about it.
of their actions, behavior.
I wouldn't call Edward or William III a savage.
Right.
But I would call the guy on the train a savage.
Yeah.
Most of the people I refer to as a savage display savage behavior.
Right.
I don't know if you could ask him, but if Popcorn's listening, maybe he'll get a little bit of an understanding. Isn't he a Negro himself?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why he's thin-skinned and sensitive.
Well,
but,
yeah,
okay, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
No.
Finish up.
I was just going to say I was a priority caller. Is there a reason for that, or?
Oh, just because you guys got the short shrift when my phone system went out. So thank you, sir.
Well, that really wasn't the problem. The glitch with the phone.
Yeah, that wasn't the reason that my show stunk yesterday.
No, you had two really poor guests. The second guy was just trying to screw with you and prevent other callers from calling in.
Yeah.
Nothing he said was relevant to anything. And then the low IQ Negro, I couldn't even understand it. I swear to God.
Yeah.
What was his thing? What was he talking about?
Brian in New Orleans. I like talking with him actually, but I shouldn't have gone 22 minutes.
No, wait. Is he the low IQ Negro or the second Brian?
Brian in New Orleans is the lower IQ guy, and then Brian in St. Louis was the guy who was just messing with me.
Yeah, well, the first one, the low IQ guy. What was his?
He was saying ICE shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They're doing too much. They're going too far or something dumb.
Oh, he's crazy, man.
Yeah.
They're not going far enough.
Yeah.
What they really, and I know we're short on time, but let me just say this. What needs to happen on immigration is the whole country needs to go under the Insurrection Act. Well, not the whole country, but any blue state that refuses to let ICE do its job, the Insurrection Act is needed really bad. And the other thing I wanted to say in regards to politics, Trump has to do the nuclear option to get voter ID passed.
Oh,
to get all the things that he campaigned on, because if they, mess with the election in November, they're going to try to impeach Trump.
Right.
You've seen some of these psychotic Democrats. They hate the white man so much, and I'm talking about white liberal.
I follow you, Mark. I have to cut it short. But I agree about the nuclear option for sure. You're making great points. Take care, man.
And the okay, thanks. But the other thing is the Insurrection Act. That's got to be done. Okay, Hake, have a good weekend. God bless. Talk to you next week.
And you too. Callers, unfortunately, and super chatters, I'm going to go a touch over. Maze, I cannot get to you at Dayton, Ohio. Hopefully next week. Rick, same to you. They want to talk about whites and the FBI in Fulton County. Popcorn, I won't be able to read this whole thing about the segregation thing. Hopefully you'll forgive me for doing next week, hopefully, if it be the Lord's will. I saw a couple of Rumble Rants. I don't like Commander Kim to be short-shrifted. She said, unions are socialism, are communism, are Satanism, along with feminism. And Commander Kim also says it's now been declassified. Over 50% of space flights were top secret. If we weren't going out into space, why were most flights classified as top secret? Asks Commander Kim. Interesting things to ponder, y'all. I'm James Hake. This has been the Hake Report, y'all. Thank you kindly. Pardon Me. I'm Overtime. The Fallen State up next. Then American Anchor Baby. Church with J.C. Lee Peterson Sunday. Hope and pray to see you next week with due attention to callers and super chatters. Take care, y'all. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Bye.